Hi guys, welcome. Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer. So I have to do yet another update about the pineapples and the penises. Now I don't know why it always happens on Wednesday. I mean, I guess something always happens on Wednesday, and I guess it's because Wednesday is the day of Mercury, so we have a lot of communication happening. But it's happened on other days too. There has been an epidemic of pineapples. People are seeing pineapples all over the place. People are sending me images of pineapples. I was on Instagram the other day, and somebody that I follow that has a dog, the dog was in the photo with a dog toy that was a pineapple. Then there was the man with the broken penis, had the gold pineapple behind him. I sent that to one of my friends. I sent a copy of it to one of my friends, and he sends me back an email that he got, and the border of the email is all pineapples. And then I saw another image on Instagram that was kind of a little bit perverted. There was a pineapple in a certain area. I won't get into it, but anyway, there was a pineapple. So I sent that to him. And then another one of my friends called me and said that one of the kids in his class was singing a song about a pineapple. So there are a lot of pineapple things happening here. So this morning I get to class, I get to yoga, and I'm subbing this morning a class I normally don't teach. And this woman that always takes that type of class, I don't really see her because I don't usually teach that class. But she came in and she said to me, she goes, I have to tell you, the last time that I took a class with you, you did this meditation at the end about a rubber duck. And I have to tell you that I went the very next day out with my daughter, and she pulls out of her purse a rubber duck that she got at some bar at some point, and there was a rubber duck. And she said from that point on, all day long, all she was seeing were these rubber ducks. So we were laughing, and she's like, how funny is it that happened? Are we going to do another one today? And I said, yeah, we'll do the lemon meditation today. Considering that I don't normally teach that class, and most of the people in the class never would have done that lemon meditation with me. So that's what we did today. So now she's like, okay, now I'm going to be, when I see the lemon, I'm like, yeah, when you see the lemon, and it has to not be the lemons in your refrigerator or the lemons at the grocery store. It has to be a lemon that you encounter somewhere, unexpectedly. And then you'll know, just like you did with the rubber ducky, that it works. This is what happens. So I leave that class and I go to the next class, which now is that class that I just picked up. So we've been doing these little meditations now for the past, I think this was maybe my third or fourth week there. So the girl that's working at the front desk says to me, I've seen a lot of pineapples this week, but I still didn't see the lemon, and I really wanted to see the lemon. So right there in that sentence is the whole key. She didn't see the lemon because she really wanted to see the lemon. So she couldn't let go of it. Emotionally, she was attached to that lemon, which is why it hasn't shown up for her yet. The pineapple, we didn't do. I just mentioned it to her, and the pineapple showed up for her. So she's very new to the law of attraction, and I am no expert. I am still struggling with it. I'm still working with it. I refuse to give up on it, but I have not mastered it yet, although I've come a long way, I think. So what happened was we did the class, and at the end of the class, instead of doing like a specific item meditation, I just spoke about how you want to change your belief. So if you don't believe that the law of attraction works, that's okay. You don't have to believe in it. But do you think it could be possible? Is there a possibility that it might work? Is there a chance that what you focus on can come into fruition? Is there a chance that if you focus on what you want and ignore what you don't want, then maybe you can bring more of the things in your life that you're hoping for, and maybe some of the things that you don't want will start to disappear? Do you think that it could be possible? Let's just put it out like that. Something that's very broad. Is it possible? If you're waiting to hear from a job, is it possible that you could hear by Friday? Is it possible that maybe you can hear from them by Wednesday? Is it possible that maybe you'll hear from them in an hour from now? So just think about it like that. Is it something that's possible versus something that might not be possible yet, like life on Mars or going to the moon for vacation? Okay, so if you put it if you compare it to something that you really believe to be impossible, then maybe you can start to feel like your possibilities are opening up. That's really useful, in my opinion. So that was the meditation at the end. So as I'm getting ready to leave the studio, I'm talking about it with this girl, and I was saying to her that, you want, oh, sorry, the dog. He's trying to get his stick, and he's got to try to destroy the whole place in the meantime. So you want to try to change the underlying belief. And we all have these beliefs. So one belief that I had that was very, very strong was I was the oldest child. And when I was little, my mom used to say things to me like, you have to be quiet so you don't wake up the baby. Now, the baby was colicky and was up all the time screaming. So in my head, I twisted it around that if he's crying, it must be my fault. I must have done something, and it was my fault. So I took on at a very young age, 3 years old, that things were my fault. And I took on a lot of that. So as I grew up, different situations that came into my life, I blamed myself for them. Well, it's your fault. You did this. And instead of giving myself any excuse, I always took the responsibility. So with all that being said, it's hard to break something like that you've grown up with your entire life from the time that you were 3 years old. It's very hard to believe that, no, it's not my fault. I'm not responsible. Let somebody else fall on the sword this time. I wound up taking a lot of heat. My whole life, putting myself out there, I did it, it's my fault, I should have known better. Okay, so changing that belief has taken some time. I'm still working on it, but that's one example. So I was giving her this example. So as I was getting ready to leave, we were joking, and she said, now for the next week, all I'm going to see are penises and pineapples. Right? So we were laughing. So I shut the door behind me, and I left the studio, and she was still there finishing some stuff up. And there was a man outside. And this building has other businesses in it. So it's not abnormal for a man or a woman or anybody to be in the building, because there are other businesses there. So I get home, and she texts me with, well, I saw a penis right after you left. Apparently this guy, well, I guess it was this guy, maybe it wasn't, went into the bathroom and didn't lock the door behind him. He probably thought that when I was leaving, I was the last person. I don't know what he thought. I mean, maybe the lights were out. I have no idea. And he didn't lock the door. So she went in to vacuum, and there he was standing there with his pants down. So there you go. She saw her penis. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But this is what I'm saying. If you can speak something like that into existence, then it can happen. But you have to see the context that it was in. It was like, oh, I'm going to see pineapples and penises. And I was like, yeah, you're going to see pineapples and penises. And then we both forgot about it. That was it. We forgot about it. I went home. She went to do her thing. And then bam, right there, the penis. You can't make this stuff up. But you can put it out there. All right, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.